help. Everybody needs a helping hand.
Friends of Rockaway really started as a group of people that were just doing whatever they could to help people out. Most of the impact from Sandy hit here in Rockaway. So you have a small barrier peninsula where the brunt of the wave came through Rockaway and hit a lot of those houses. As it got formalized, we started doing door-to-door canvassing campaigns to understand who still needed utilities, who still needed the hot water and the heat to make sure that they were in safe, secure homes. And the way it works is that we bring a family in, we'll bring a homeowner in, and we'll work with them to understand their situation, to make sure that they meet our eligibility criteria. We then understand their project. We'll send our construction director out to go do a scope of work and to understand how much it costs to get them into safe, secure housing. And then we go out and we find funding for those projects. And the way that we drastically lower that cost off of what it would be for a private contractor is that we bring volunteers in to do that labor. So we have volunteers coming in and they help out with the insulation, the drywall, the mudding, the taping, the painting, the trim, and the flooring to make that house feel like a house.
Remember I told you about the other hand? Holding it on top of your hand? Yeah, I'm holding this.
You know, when we have volunteers out on site, they're out there, you know, helping to get the work done as well. We really rely on that volunteer labor to help bring the cost down. Oh, yeah. Coming to volunteer with Friends of Rockaway, it's a great way, you know, not just to get out and take a vacation from your normal life, but to really get out there and do some good and have a great time and help some families that are in need.
I love building. I got into it a couple years ago on the West Coast doing different kinds of building with natural materials.
I'm amazed at you know, how quickly they can learn and the eagerness to come back out here and the dedication that we get.
So, you know, it's been a very big tragedy. A lot of people lost their houses. So right now, we fixing people's houses. We're trying to do the best way we can.
It's been a great experience watching people come back into their homes. You can have an adventure and learn something and work and help people and do all of that at the same time. It's just been really great. The most valuable thing I've learned? Oh, that's such a good question. I've learned that I am a lifelong student of the world, and that is a great source of joy for me.
We drove around the edges of Hurricane Sandy and watched, feeling heartbroken by the scope of the destruction. For the last 3 years, Traveltelevision has presented stories about volunteers working on the East Coast for Hurricane Sandy recovery. To study the social media effects on the storytelling, we created the Jersey Shore Volunteer Challenge, which was launched in the spring of 2015. It brought together schools and colleges to compete and share their stories and encourage others to volunteer. Have you ever watched a reality TV show and thought either A, this is so pointless, or B, that looks like fun and I want to do it. I can do it even better. We can help you combine all these scenarios into one fantastic experience while getting you your 15 minutes of fame. Use hashtag Jersey Shore Volunteers or use hashtag JSV. The Jersey Shore Volunteers Project was an experiment in the use of crowdsourcing to generate interest in volunteerism. Over the course of several weekends in 2015, teams of video volunteers created stories and shared experiences to encourage people to help to rebuild after Hurricane Sandy. Multiple social media platforms were utilized in an effort to raise awareness and participation by providing points of entry. This project engaged students and teachers in the question of how to get more volunteers for Hurricane Sandy recovery. We asked them to give us their pitch.
Okay, people should come volunteer at the Jersey Shore because it's accessible and it's really fun to give back, and you're giving back, and it's a rewarding experience.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's definitely been a very impactful experience also, something I think we'll all take with us for the rest of our lives.
My name's Brian Gingrich Jr. United Way with AmeriCorps in Union Beach. Come on out. We need volunteers like you. Hope to see you soon.
Well, this is what I imagine. They'll say, so what'd you do over there? And I'll say, well, I helped to build a home. And they would say, no way. And I would say, yeah. I would say that, you know those skills I used to want to know about sheetrocking or spackling and all those tasks that we all do and we complain about? Well, when you do them in this environment, you get pretty good at it. And, you know, you begin to treat the space knowing that when you leave, someone else will really benefit from it for a really long time.
You can see the results, and the families can see the results, and we're nowhere near finished. So there's so much more to do, and I hope that we'll be able to come back again, and I hope you'll be able to join us.
We've been here at the Jersey Shore for about a week now, and it's been truly amazing. By having us here, we're providing just a little bit of hope that things are going to get better. We're going to turn things around. I've been volunteering through the Alternative Spring Break trip for about 3 years now. Outside of that, I try to volunteer as often as I can. It is possibly one of the best experiences a person can get. Not only are you assisting others and helping others get to where they need to be, but you're also helping yourself in a very self-serving way. You are becoming a better person. Volunteering builds a person, shapes a person, and molds a person in a completely different way than any other experience I know of. The only skill that you really need to be ready to have is the ready and willingness to adapt to a new scenario and a new situation. Just get out there and do it. Make a difference.
Our school sets it up. It's a yearly program. The first year I got into it, my friend wanted me to come. They needed some extra hands. She knew I was good at doing some labor type activities, so I showed up, loved it, and I've been doing it every year since. We're just here breaking up some concrete, trying to prep the house so they can put in a new foundation next week. It's always just a very gratifying experience, especially when I get to stay on the same project, get to watch it progress throughout the week. There's always people on hand who can help you learn. If you're not comfortable doing a particular task, it's fine. They just have you do something else. If anyone is looking for a one-of-a-kind experience, this is the absolute best place to do it.
The Barron Builders from the DC JCC traveled to New Jersey to help rebuild, together with 2 schools in New Jersey, as another part of the Jersey Shore Volunteer Challenge. Sharing the stories helps increase the awareness and encourage people to come out and help those affected by natural disasters.
Hi, I'm Randy Bacon, the director of Barron Builders from the Washington, D.C. JCC. We're here volunteering at the Jersey Shore. You can follow it at Jersey Shore Volunteers. Today's day number 2. As you can see, volunteers are putting up siding. This is probably the last day it'll take to finish this home. Yesterday, we were able to install windows, siding on another house ready for gutters. Stay tuned to see what day number 3 will do.
I'm Team Barron Builders. Join the conversation and you could be too.
The Jersey Shore Volunteer Challenge created stories and featured people who wanted to help. Each came for different reasons.
The kids break up the rocks and I lift them from one place to another and help in whichever way I can. And it's been great. It certainly beats going to a gym. This gives you a different kind of view of young people working and working together towards a common goal. I'm in middle age, and when you start thinking about what do you want to do, how do you want to live your life, I think this is certainly a productive way I think in service there is no age. You're going to love it. I mean, you're going to love being with 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds. It's all good. We're here to help the families, but we help each other out. We'd get the Jersey Shore back on track and people back on their homes if everybody my age gave 1 week once in their life. It would be good enough.
I am here on a rebuild week for Hurricane Sandy, and I understand that there's going to be a Jersey challenge out there for people to come down to Camp Evans in Wall Township and volunteer and also be involved in a challenge.
Once you try it, you will always return. Volunteering is that feeling you get when you restore something to its originality, whether it's about a butterfly to its nest or a home for a family.
And my motto is you never meet a bad person volunteering, because bad people don't volunteer.
You're not going to be watching reality TV, you're going to be creating reality TV. And not only are you going to be creating reality TV, but you're going to have a wonderful experience, an experience that you'll never be able to repeat in your lifetime, but you will want to go out there and do other things again. You will want to expand on your volunteerism as a result. The New Jersey Shore rebuild efforts, there's still a great need. I recommend it to anyone who's thinking about it. Whether you spend 1 day, 2 days, a week, whatever you can spend, you will get so much more out of it than someone can give to you or that you will ever realize. And I've met a lot of women who have, and a lot of people who have given back in many ways, volunteering their time over and over again.
St. Bernard's been here a little longer than a year and a half, just trying to get people back home and waiting for more people to help.
One of the most important things is for us to make sure that you stay connected to the work that we're doing. So we want to talk to you about ways that you can come back and volunteer again, ways that you can leverage your entire community to become a part of the efforts to rebuild, or ways that you can stay in touch with the homeowner whose life you impacted. So regularly on social media, we post pictures of the progress of homes, and then we send a big update to everyone when we have a welcome home party and a family is finally able to have a safe, stable home again after disaster.
And until coming to work for the Washington, D.C. JCC and Barron Builders, I never realized that there were so many people out there who really needed help. And giving back makes me feel like I make up for the good that I have in my life. And being able to help others and making a difference in their lives and to give people a place to stay and to live and to call home is really important.
Help Jersey Shore volunteers. Share your stories on your favorite social media platform using hashtag Jersey Shore Volunteers or use hashtag JSV.
One of the most magnificent things that has come out of the Monmouth County long-term recovery happens to be right behind us. It is Camp Evans, which is a historical site that has now been renovated to be volunteer housing for folks who will be serving both Monmouth and Ocean counties here in New Jersey.
One of the mysteries of wartime science, one of the war's most closely guarded secrets, the miracle of radar is now revealed.
The miracle of radar is one of the many technological achievements celebrated at the InfoH Learning Center at Camp Evans. Located in Wall Township, New Jersey, the InfoH Learning Center, staffed entirely by volunteers, endeavors to preserve the rich history of Camp Evans and spark excitement in science among its visitors, especially young students. Camp Evans is the original site of one of Guglielmo Marconi's first wireless locations, the Belmar Station. While most people are familiar with Marconi as the inventor of wireless communication, not everyone knows the tragic event which jump-started his business career.
Mr. Marconi was the hero of the Titanic disaster. How can this be? Because he wasn't even on the ship. He was invited, but unfortunately due to business pressures, he went ahead earlier on another ship and asked his wife to enjoy the Titanic crossing with the family. Luckily for the family, the infant caught a cold and mom was not going to be caught in the middle of the ocean without a hospital nearby with a sick infant. How could he have become the hero of the disaster? He's not on board, his family's not on board, but his staff was on board and his finest ocean wireless equipment. When the Titanic hit the iceberg and the message was sent out, matter of fact, that new SOS message was used by his staff, a ship many hours away called the Carpathia heard the message and steamed to the Titanic's disaster area as quick as they could. Mr. Marconi, when he reached New York, was declared the hero of the disaster. Mr. Marconi went from the man making equipment for an industry that didn't exist to the man who owned the industry, and he reaped the financial rewards. And with those rewards, he was able to buy 9 pairs of transoceanic stations around the globe. One is the Belmar Station, which today is known as Camp Evans. Hi everyone, my name is Fred Carl. I'm the director of InfoAge, or the Information Age Learning Center, a group of volunteers here to do 2 important things: inspire kids to learn science and science history as we save this amazing historic site known as Camp Evans. And what's most exciting to us is now the site is a National Historic Landmark. Historians of technology called World War II the Radar War, and for good reason, because if it wasn't for amazing radar innovations, some of them made right here at Camp Evans and Greater Fort Monmouth, United States and the Allies could have lost the war. On the day World War II ended on August 15th, 1945, there were stories, sometimes full pages, about how radar was a major reason for victory. And our favorite is the Daily News, which has a photograph of radar from Camp Evans, New Jersey, so the fathers of Army and Navy radar can trace themselves to this special place that's now a national landmark.
So I've been a volunteer here for 2 years. My role here right now is as creative director. I head up several different special projects, one of which is the restoration of these DDUs. A DDU stands for a Dymaxion Deployment Unit. They were designed by Buckminster Fuller after his 1927 Dymaxion house design. Dymaxion stands for Dynamic Maximum Tension. It was Buckminster Fuller's belief that it was an efficient design that should be thought of first. For these reasons, he was the world's really the world's first green architect. He was a pioneer in green architecture and engineering. He coined terms such as spaceship Earth and synergy. He was really the first to talk about, conserving our resources and thinking about our planet as a spaceship.
Just about everything at InfoAge gets done by volunteers. People bring unique skills to the table. I've brought the ability to work on website design. I bring a certain eye to certain projects. Other volunteers work with projects on an annual basis. We do the Camp Evans Base of Terror. We have volunteers working on network design, development, maintenance. So there are many other volunteers that are involved with things as simple as painting and cleaning up and picking up trash and gardening. A lot of different work is required. InfoAge is a terrific place with dedicated volunteers that all work together to get the job done.
Happy landings.
The St. Bernard Project was founded in 2006 in response to Hurricane Katrina, and since then has grown as a nationally recognized leader in disaster recovery. As part of its Hurricane Sandy recovery efforts, they are working to repair and rebuild homes on the Jersey Shore. The St. Bernard Project on the Jersey Shore serves low to moderate income residents with a special focus on families with small children, the elderly, disabled persons, war veterans, and under and uninsured persons.
It's crazy to think how many people are still displaced from Hurricane Sandy, how many families are not back in their homes. I was born in this area of Monmouth County. That was one of the hardest hit areas during Hurricane Sandy. I learned about this organization, about St. Bernard Project and AmeriCorps, when I moved back to New Jersey about 10 months ago, and they were looking for individuals to help out in the community. Now it's 2+ years, which is pretty crazy to think about, and people are still out of their houses. There's just a dire need for help in this area, and I was willing to add my energy and passion to help people who need any help they can get to start their lives back over again. It's been a beautiful run with St. Bernard Project and AmeriCorps, and they taught me a lot, and hopefully I've helped as many people out as I can and continue to do so for the rest of my term. I love meeting people from all different walks of life, and with volunteering you hear stories and you meet people from a million different backgrounds. It's a great way to learn about a world bigger than your own. You'd be surprised how great it feels after a day of work here with this organization and seeing firsthand what you've done, what you've accomplished just in one day. It's humbling in the best way possible, I think. And don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Some people are scared of volunteering, even with a lack of construction experience with our organization in general. Don't be scared. I didn't know much beforehand going in, but if I can do it, you can do it.
I started with St. Bernard Project in New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. And we now have built about, oh gosh, it's hard to even count anymore. I was there when we broke 500 homes. We started this up in New Jersey in March of last year. And so far we've rebuilt 8 homes. We're just starting out, but there's still thousands to go. St. Bernard Project is driven by volunteers. We couldn't do the rebuilding work without them. We've got AmeriCorps members who volunteer with us for 10 months at a time, and they're the backbone of our work. But you know, we only have about 12 of them. And they all supervise volunteers who come in from across the country and honestly across the globe to help us rebuild.
I am a 2-year already AmeriCorps alumni, and I signed up with FEMA Corps, which is with the National Corporation for Community Service and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, and we're volunteering here today for the St. Bernard Project for Sandy Recovery. To be a team leader is mean you supervise 10 to 12 individuals across the United States that you travel with to different disaster relief projects. They are very good here at the St. Bernard Project at helping you. This morning I knew nothing about drywalling, and now I'm working with one of my Corps members to put up panels to finish out this bathroom downstairs. I've got about 10 years of volunteer work, and it's all about helping the community. When the community prospers, the people prosper all around. So just being beneficial to my fellow mankind is it's fulfilling enough for me.
I'm actually a part of FEMA Corps, which is a national service program. It's like 10 months long. We're on teams of 10 to 12 people, and 18 to 24-year-olds, and we travel the country going wherever FEMA needs us to go. Today I am mudding for this house that was just torn apart by Hurricane Sandy. There was a tree fell in the roof, and then there's water came in and mold everywhere, and then the family had to leave because it got condemned, and while they were gone, thieves came in and stole everything that they had. So they couldn't afford to fix it, so they thought they were going to have to leave it. And then the St. Bernard Project came in and I guess helped them put their house back together. And we're here volunteering with drywall and kind of helping them get everything back together so that the family can move back in and have their house back. Knowing that back home I have a house and I have a family, and this family, if it weren't for us, they couldn't have their house. They couldn't have the place where they raised their kids back. It feels so great being able to give them that back.
I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, St. Bernard to be more specific. I'm up here to help out our New Jersey affiliate for a little bit while we're in the middle of some departmental structural changes. And so today I'm here to just kind of volunteer. I'm acting more as a volunteer today, to just kind of work with the team and get a little more hands-on than I've been able to do as a manager. I like working with my hands. I like getting dirty. I think I'm going to enjoy doing mudding, and so I'm looking forward to doing that today. In New Orleans, there's still a lot of work to be done. There are neighborhoods right outside my neighborhood that I live in that are still completely desolate. There's still blocks and blocks of empty lots with grass as tall as I am, dumpsters blocking the roads, streets that are so riddled with potholes you can't drive down them. And so there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still a lot of people that aren't home that still need help, that still need volunteer help to come down. And there's still a lot of work like that to be done in this area too. And they're both beautiful communities. The people are, I think it's the people more than anything else that I've really come to find are the most similar. I thought growing up in New Orleans, growing up in the Deep South all my life, I thought of people in the North, you know, maybe they were be brisk and talk fast, but that hasn't been the case at all. Everybody's been extremely welcoming. Everybody's been very receptive, and they're really caring people, and they need help.
I'm actually with the AmeriCorps FEMA Corps. So we're based out of Denver, and then we're right now stationed in Colts Neck, New Jersey. I'm doing mudding. I'm doing seams and screw holes. So. They teach us what to do right on the spot, so they just kind of show us what to do, make sure we know how to do it, and then we just go with it. It's great being part of like the bigger picture and knowing that you're helping finish this house so that they can come back and live in it.
We have to give a special thank you to all volunteers because these shows are made possible by volunteers telling the stories of volunteers to encourage volunteerism.